Hello students, today you seeing the childhood of Nelson Mandela, how his childhood is spent, how his mother actually was in charge of the 3 huts and how he was living with all his cousins and his aunts and his aunties. He was living with everyone in his cottage, so they were poor actually. From all this we get to know that they were living in cottages in far remote areas in Africa. So actually, what does he on what actually his mother used to cook? His mother used to cook. My mother used to cook food in a 3-legged iron pot. Yesterday I explained you this, and over an open fire in the center of the hut or outside. Everything we ate, we grew and made ourselves. So actually at that time his mother used to cook food over an open fire in the center of the hut. In the middle of the hut she used to make food, she used to cook food, and everything whatever they used to eat at that time actually and whatever they however they grew and whatever they eat, all actually they had to make themselves. Whatever was needed to them for wearing, for eating, they used to make themselves for them actually. And from an early age I spent most of free time in the world playing and fighting with the other boys in the village. So student, the word "world" that has been used here in this line, it means an open uncultivated area of grassland. So actually in simple words we can understand as a field, as an open field of grassland, an uncultivated grassland actually. So Nelson Mandela spent all of his actually focus here uncultivated grassland. Wild means, so he actually spent most of his childhood time in playing there in field, in open uncultivated there, not playing also but fighting also, like the other kids generally of a small age in the village. And at night he had to share his food and blanket with the same boys, with whom he actually fight during the day, or some of his would have been friends with whom he actually played. With all of them he had to share his food and blanket with the same boys at night time. So this shows that they were very poor. They were living like a camp life, where every one of the neighborhood lives together, eats together. It was a scenario like that. We generally know that there is huge poverty in South Africa, and mostly in remote areas, and especially with black people, and in those days particularly. Nowadays the things have changed a lot, but in those days there used to be a huge poverty at that point of time. Students, from here we will start tomorrow and read till here. This is a short story. It will end in 2 or 3 more classes.